A few years ago, I was in my job, and I was teaching and coaching, and I was feeling kind of burned out, and kind of just pushing through that, but wasn't getting any better. And then just even on a side note, I'd been kind of battling depression really since my senior year of college, and I had some panic attacks and things like that. So all of that kind of compiled together. And so I'm in this job, and kind of feeling like the Lord's stirring me towards something else, to maybe do something else. But that's out of my norm. That's out of my comfort zone. That's not what I know. I felt like the Lord was calling me to take a break and to do something different. And I had some friends, along the way in that journey, actual friends, like the ones that will tell you the truth. And they were even encouraging me in that, and confirming of maybe just think, they said, maybe, you need to do something different or take a break. I can kind of see through my journal different prayers of just like, God, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if you're kind of stirring me to do something different. But I'd kind of pray that and then tuck it away, because I certainly didn't really want that answered. And I can remember in May saying, like, Lord, if you're asking me to do something else, like, are you going to take care of me? And I felt like the Lord kind of said, like, in my heart, I felt like he said, you're looking for a reason, and you don't need a reason. And what I felt like he was saying to me in that was, I wanted to be able to justify or make something make sense. Sometimes you just can't shake that stirring, even when you really want to. I did it. I decided to quit my job, and I called my boss and resigned. I wanted to throw up, but I was able to tell her. And a big struggle for me in all of that was I wanted to be able to explain myself, to justify myself. I didn't want to look foolish, but I felt really foolish. So people would say, oh, wow, kind of shocked, like, oh, okay, what are you going to do next? I don't know. And I did feel like I wasn't supposed to rush into my next thing. I was supposed to take some time and not rush into that. Talking to a couple friends, and I had seen it even in the Bible, but the word sabbatical. I looked up sabbatical, and it said essentially like a paid leave or break for 6 months to a year. At least that was Google's version. So when I quit my job and kind of started that, I'd never checked out Sabbatical for Dummies at the library, so I had no idea what I was doing. Didn't even know, what do you do? I didn't even know what to do. Some of the biggest challenges for me, the Lord kind of chipping away the rough edges on me, was even simply introductions and people saying, oh, hi, Dacy, nice to meet you. What do you do? I sabbatical? What's that? And trying to explain that, or, oh, well, that's neat, or whatever their response would be. What are you going to do next? I wanted to be able to answer people, kind of that fear of man. I wanted to look good in their eyes. I didn't want to look foolish. And I can remember sitting on my couch at my house, writing, like, Lord, do whatever you want to do, but take this stronghold of comfort from me that I've built up in my life. The comfort that I was seeking was often in other people. It was in other people's view of me. It was in titles. It was in money. I found that my faith was in a lot of those things instead of my faith being in the Lord. I think I would have told people that the Lord's my provider before, but I don't think I really meant that. When everything was stripped away, when those comforts were stripped away, when the titles were stripped away, so much certainty, what I knew was stripped away. And when Jesus is what remains, I learned that he really is enough. On the other side of that sabbatical year of kind of getting back into work, I got a couple part-time jobs, and that was kind of the segue out of that. I just had one of those moments where I said, Lord, what was the point of all this? And I felt like it was just a quick answer that I just kind of felt in my heart. He said that you would find me. I think what he meant by that wasn't that I didn't have him before, but that I would find him and him being enough, and him being really being the source, and him being just really being God in my life.